Hey guys, welcome back to SoBackSports, and I'm so back with another video, and we're going to be doing three NFC North teams predictions. And I know in the last video I did specifically for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit busy, so I'm just trying to get everything kind of sorted out, and I thought might as well include all three in this recording. Before we get into today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Really means a lot. It really helps me create content like this for you guys. I'm trying to hit 700 subscribers soon, so we can do that together. Obviously, follow my socials down below. And let's get into the video. So, as you can see, we're going to start off with the Green Bay Packers and their record predictions. And just a disclaimer, I'm going to be doing it from the perspective of the Green Bay Packers. I feel like that's the most easiest way to think about these, especially for the rest of the predictions. This is disjunct from what I said in the Chicago Bears video. So it could be a little bit different from a prediction standpoint, but I'm just trying to say from the perspective of what the Green Bay Packers can do and or Lions or Vikings, and basically say what is the best case scenario for them. So let's get on with it. So obviously, the NFC North is facing the NFC East and the AFC North this season. And as you can see, you're going to start off with week one against the Detroit Lions at home in Lambeau Field. I think that this is going to be a very interesting game. It's going to be pretty much deciding, the changes and the additions and losses for both these squads, and how can they really do against each other, especially in an NFC North division matchup. I think that from this perspective, and it's a home game, I think Green Bay wins this one. I just think that from their perspective, that they're going to take one game at least one game. The Lions, they're still a better team, better side, defensively and offensively. Aiden Hutchinson's coming back from injury. I still think that this is going to be a very close game, but I feel like it's going to come down to like a field goal maybe, and the Green Bay Packers somehow sneak a win against the Detroit Lions. Going on to week two against the Commanders at home as well, back-to-back home games. I think that it's going to be another win for the Packers. And listen, Jaden Daniels is great. The team is great. I just think that the Commanders are probably going to falter a little bit, especially defensively. Jeff Hafley with this defensive squad. The big question is the secondary for Green Bay Packers. So if they really can't shut down the Commanders, it's going to be a big problem. But offensively, I think like they're going to duke it out a bit. I just think it's going to still be a close game nonetheless. But listen, the Commanders are a great side nonetheless. Green Bay Packers versus Cleveland. I don't really have to say much. I think it's going to be a win for them. Unfortunately, pretty easy win for them. You already know pretty much what the Cleveland Browns are going through right now. Week four against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. I think that Packers are going to win that one too. And this is where it starts to get tricky because they're also, like the Bears, have an early bye week. I think they both have the same or share the same bye week, and it's going to be a little tricky. I think the Bengals can win this one. Joe Burrow and that offense can somehow stymie the Green Packers, and I think they're going to come off. They're bound to lose a game at this point in the season. Green Bay against the Cardinals. I think that's an easy win as well. And I think I kind of want to go back. Do I really want to go back on the take? I think it's probably. No, I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Green Bay and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers moment right there to take revenge against the Green Bay Packers. And I think this is going to be a good game. As two things I hate the most, and that's Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And I think that I'm going to give it to the Steelers. I think that it's going to be that kind of a game, and it's going to be a loss that they're going to have to sustain further. And I know, I get it. Aaron Rodgers is old and all that, but I just feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to definitely try against his former team and will do anything to win against them. Panthers and Green Bay. If I remember correctly, the last time that Green Bay played the Panthers, Bryce Young had a legacy game and almost won that game too. But keep in mind, it was against a Joe Barry defense. I think that Panthers have improved a lot as a team, and I think they're going to take a surprise. And I think that the Panthers could win this one. It's going to be close, but I think that that's going to happen. And I think the Eagles as well. I don't think the Eagles are a better team than the Packers. I'm going to be absolutely real. Um, so as of right now, they're currently 5-4. And after their hot streak to start the season before their bye week, and they're kind of doing a little skid. I think Giants pretty easy win. I don't think that's a hard win per se. Green Bay at home game against the Vikings. I think the Vikings take that one. Vikings are good, especially against the Packers for some reason. Packers against the Detroit Lions. Yeah, I think Green Bay takes this one. They're gonna split. And for the Bears, Packers. I know in the previous video, I said that the Bears are gonna sweep them. Do I realistically think that we're gonna sweep this year? Probably not, because it is the NFC North, and I guess we are a competitive side now. But I think at home, I think Caleb wins this one. But I think at home, or we're gonna split where the Green Bay comes into Soldier Field and wins. I think that's what's gonna happen. But going back to the Broncos game that's wedged in between these two, I think that Green Bay is going to win against the Broncos. While the Broncos do have a really good team, I just think this is going to be a very close game. I think in general, this whole year is going to be a bunch of close games because it's really hard to determine with all the wide receivers question marks that they have, how good that this squad can be. It really all depends on Jordan Love and how he can eventually carry this squad to win games, because if Jordan plays mistake-free football, he can win you games, and he can play relatively good hero ball as well. But if he throws picks, that's a whole different scenario. Baltimore at Green Bay. I think Baltimore wins that one. I think Baltimore are a better side holistically as a team. And then to end the year, I think that the only team that they're gonna get swept by are the Vikings, and it's gonna be 9-8 record. I get it. I said the Bears are going 11-6, and I know you're going to be in the comments that say that, but I'm just saying from the Green Bay Packers perspective, like their second half of the year are pretty tough. I just think that they have to face pretty interesting challenges, and I know the Panthers one can be a very big toss up. You can even say that the Bengals one could be a toss up as well, if depending on the defense and how the defense looks like. This is just my opinion at the end of the day. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. This could realistically happen. Who knows? They're still going to be a 9-10 win team, give or take. Okay. And let's go to the second team. And that is, if I can find them, the Minnesota Vikings. Let me refresh this. Perfect. Okay. Minnesota Vikings, second team. Week 1 against the Bears. Realistically, if I'm not considering a Bears fan, it's going to be tough. But I still think that the Bears win that. Wait, did I see? No, sorry. The Minnesota Vikings still win that, unfortunately. I think that, at home, it's going to be a little tough, especially in the first week. But I think it's going to be a close game for that specific standpoint. It's going to be a little bit of growing pains for JJ McCarthy, but I think they'll still pull it out due to the fact that Kevin O'Connell is a goddamn good head coach. I just can't believe it. But Ben Johnson, this is going to be his debut. So listen, it could come down to the wire and he loses off a field goal. Could very well happen like that. I still think it's going to be a very close game in that sense. Next game against the Falcons, Kirk Cousins, former team, but Kirk is probably not going to be playing because, he's going to be on the bench rotting. Vikings win that one. Bengals, Vikings. I think Vikings win that one as well, because I just think that the Bengals defense is going to be a big question mark going into the season. And have they really improved? It's a big question mark to say. And they still haven't even gotten their contracts for Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see if they get both of them. They're going to be good. It's just that the scheme has to also be there too. And and Shamar Stewart is definitely a project that you have to like look into and develop, which I haven't seen the Bengals develop at all. Steelers, Vikings. Aaron Rodgers could have gone to the Steelers, but it is what it is. And I just think that the Vikings have a better team. They're going to win. Vikings, Browns, Vikings win. And they're going to be one of the undefeated teams to start the season, just like how the Packers did. Eagles, Vikings. Oof. It's going to be tricky. I think it's a tricky game. I think that from a standpoint, I think the Vikings will make it a bit of a game for sure. But I think that the Eagles will win at the end of the day. They have a better team as a whole, and I think that they're coming off a Super Bowl. Barring injury, I think there should be a really good squad. Saquon Madden curse is also a big question as well. Ooh, in that case, yeah, I think maybe the Vikings win that one because I forgot about Saquon, and I think they're bound to lose one of these NFC North teams, and it makes logical sense that it could be the Vikings that pull off a win against them. Vikings, Chargers. Chargers haven't improved that much. I mean, it kind of did improve a little bit with a running back squad. I think the Chargers take this one. I think that it's at home. I think you're bound to lose a game and all that. I think it's a big question mark on JJ McCarthy. So we'll see. I don't know. Vikings, Lions. I think Lions take that one. The first one. I think they're going to split, if anything. But for the sake, I think that the Vikings will lose early on, but then catch up later. Baltimore at Vikings. I have a feeling that the Vikings win this one. Because it's at home. They have home court field advantage. And I think the Baltimore Ravens are bound to lose a game. So I think if anyone were to lose, they would lose to the Vikings, right? So right now they're 7-2. Bears, I think the Bears still win. Bears win this one. Even though it's away, Caleb gets his revenge from week 1. Vikings, Green Bay. Vikings take that one. And Vikings, Seahawks against Sam Darnold, his former QB. I have a feeling that for some reason that the Seahawks can win that one. I don't know, just a random off game. It could be very well that the Vikings torch them. Just think that it's a revenge game for Sam Darnold. Commanders, Vikings. I think that the Vikings win that one. Vikings, Dallas. Vikings easily win that one. Vikings, Giants win that one. There's not really much else to say. And Vikings at home against the Lions. Said that they lost the first one, and I think they'll win the second. And I think that the Green Bay Packers will split week 18. They rest their starters and stuff, and they'll fight for playoff spot maybe. But I think at that point they'll end with 12-5. I think that's pretty respectable for them as a squad. Now let's go on to the last team. I think I moved past them. Where are they? Okay. Detroit. Sweet. This is the last team for the NFC North. Detroit at Green Bay. From Detroit's standpoint, this should be a win, but I think they will miss Dan Campbell's. Ooh, what did I say from the beginning? So, from Detroit's perspective, right? You're going with Dan Campbell week 1 without Ben Johnson in the scheme. So it's going to be a very close game. Realistically speaking, with the squad that they have, I think that Detroit still win that one. I think based on my Green Bay Packers prediction, I still think that they'll win. Bears, Lions. I still think the Lions win that one. It's at Ford Field. I still think that. Detroit at Baltimore. It's going to be a very interesting game. I think Baltimore win that one. Detroit beats the Cleveland Browns. Not much else to say. I think I talked about this earlier. I think their defense is definitely going to be a lot improved. It's just that who their schemes are going to come from is going to be a big question mark, especially after the departure of Aaron Glenn. I don't think that they'll be fine. I don't think that they're going to be a bad squad, especially with the talent that they've amassed. Even in the draft when they got forgot his name, but the defensive tackle from Ohio State, I think he's going to be pretty solid for them on the defensive side. Detroit at Bengals. I think Detroit win that one because they just have a better squad defensively. Detroit at Kansas City. I think Kansas City take this one. Detroit at the Buccaneers. Oh no, Buccaneers are going away to the Lions. Buccaneers. I feel like I like the Buccaneers here for some reason. I don't know. I feel like even though the defense is a little bit lacking, I think they'll just overpower with offense. I feel like this could be maybe an off day. I don't know. It's just a hunch I have. Bye week, it's a pretty nice spot that they have a bye week. It's not the worst. It's like still relatively late in the season, but then they face the Vikings. Vikings, I think they'll still split. I think they'll probably win at home. Like they're gonna split. It just really depends on where they're gonna split. Detroit, I think they can. I think Commanders is a question mark. It's because I think the Commanders did improve, but I think they can win a one-off game against the Lions. But they did show that in the playoffs as well. So I think that they can continue that and still beat the Lions. Detroit against Eagles. I think Detroit can take that. I think Detroit has the team to take that. Detroit, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Green Bay, Lions. I already said that the Lions won the first game, so I think they're going to split, and I think they're going to lose that second game. They're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. LA head-to-head with Detroit. Give me LA here. I think LA is going to be a good team. Detroit beats Steelers. Detroit beats the Vikings. Oh, do they beat the Vikings? That's a question mark. They'll split. I think they'll split. And I think the Bears. No, I don't think. Hold on. Let me go back. Because I think they can get 10 wins. I feel like they could sweep the Vikings. They could. But it's like all that really depends on the coaching. So here's the deal. I think that they can sweep. Best case scenario for the Lions, they sweep the Vikings. They get 10 wins. And they lose to the Bears on week 18. I think that's a pretty good 10-7, not bad. Like in general, I don't think that's bad. Ideally, I realistically think that the Bears probably won't get 13 wins, but like they're gonna hover around 10. So I feel like realistically, all these teams in NFC North can definitely get 10 wins in best case scenario. I think that's really what I'm trying to say. But these are just my early predictions. I'm going to probably do another video on that near the end, near when the season starts specifically. So stay tuned for that. That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys. If you guys are already here watching this video, I appreciate you. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I love to read what you guys have to say and think about the schedule prediction that I made. I'll always love some feedback as well. Always remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow the social media down below. And as always, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one.